Hello everyone, I'm the director for our New Zealand registered not-for-profit Common Knowledge. I'm also a naturopath, and I want you to understand this about me. 50 years ago, when I became a naturopath, I chose not to learn anything medical. I knew back then I didn't want to prescribe, diagnose, or treat, and I didn't want people to confuse me with being a licensed or registered medical professional. So if you have medical training, good on you. And if you have science training, good on you. I'm not going to quite talk about that. So I got COVID in 2020 and have definitely had lingering symptoms. And when I got COVID, our trust, or me, wrote this self-help guide. And we've passed it around, and we'd encourage all of you to pass it around as well, so that people, if they get sick, can immediately start doing something for themselves. We're not going to cure COVID. We're not going to eliminate it. We're going to help our body deal with the acute phase. And by continuing to use many of these skills, we can help our body deal with the lingering symptoms that we have. I'm a year past them, and I still use many of these skills. And so today I want to talk about, are you disabled? I mean, really, that's a question. I read lots of posts on the long haul COVID groups, and I want to tell you, I would say most people who are experiencing symptoms believe that they are going to be disabled for life. And it gets complicated because the medical profession really doesn't know what to do. They're not understanding long haul yet. They barely understand COVID. I mean, notice they went to vaccines rather than treatments. HIV was 100% fatal. They didn't have a vaccine. There's never been a vaccine for AIDS. It's all been focused on treatment. Ebola, 95% fatality rate. There's no vaccine. It's treatment. And for some reason, governments and the medical profession decide to focus on vaccines that we don't fully understand. We know that they don't stop people from getting sick or passing it on, but they do stop you from getting really sick and dying, which is really good. But long-haul COVID symptoms can occur with people who didn't have acute COVID. And the symptoms can be really, really scary. A lot of heart problems, jumping around, racing, blood pressure up and down and up and down, fatigue, constant fatigue, difficulty breathing, oppression in the chest, all sorts of things. And you're terrified that you are going to be disabled. So this is what I want to talk about today, because I worked, when I started as a naturopath 50 years ago, it was working with people with severe disabilities and pregnancy. So I have a funny insight into this. I worked with people with severe disabilities. They were never ever gonna heal their spine from a spinal injury, or get their right side back from a stroke, or if they had spina bifida, be able to use their legs. But they all could improve their quality of life. That goes for people who have emphysema or COPD or asthma. By applying self-help skills, we can improve the quality of our life. That's really important. In pregnancy and childbirth, there are a huge number of risks, known and unknown. And thankfully, few risks become problems. Most problems are resolved, and very few unresolved problems really become tragedies, which means the likelihood is that you have symptoms that, if you take care of yourself in time, are going to start to dissipate, or you're going to start to feel better, even though you may have lingering symptoms. And this is important for you to know, Because if you are paralyzed with fear, if you are terrified, if you are anxious, if you are immobilized, then your mind, your emotions, and your body are stimulating your sympathetic nervous system, which is the fright, flight, fight, and freeze, and that is adding to the issues that you have, because your body can't heal when it is in hypervigilant mode. So you need to learn to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, along with other things that you might do. A lot of you talk about the fact that your doctors don't seem to believe you. We all live in different healthcare systems. Some people are getting extensive tests done. Many of those tests are coming back normal, but you don't feel normal. It doesn't necessarily mean you are normal. If the tests are normal, it may be that they're not testing you for the right things, or that there aren't tests available that can test you for what you have. If you feel that you are going to die from what you have, then track down a doctor. Track down a doctor who will do tests and tell you whether they think you're going to die or not. And if you're not going to die, then you're stuck with you. Same way we feel when anything new happens. Just imagine if you hadn't had COVID and one of your loved ones died. How disoriented would you feel? Or if your partner left you for someone else and you didn't know it was going to happen. Or when you get fired from a job. Or when you're driving down the road and somebody bumps into you in the back. These are all new things that disorient us. And they disorient us for quite a long time sometimes. We have to work really hard to make sense of when new things come along in our life that are unexpected. And so I really want to encourage you to find self-help things. I'll keep talking about them as much as I can, as much as I know about. But today we're going to talk about brainwaves. We have a mind. Our brain has different brainwaves in it. Some are for creativity, some are for relaxation, some are for sleep, some are for being energized and having a clear mind. The article in this description goes through all of them, and you can find brainwave things on YouTube. Listen to them. Play around with which ones suit you and when. When I was having difficulty sleeping, I put on a 3 to 5 hour brainwave binaural. You'll see that word. And some of them were just white noise, but they were frequencies. And I would say to myself, what do I want to deal with now? Do I want to go to sleep? Do I want to be energized? Do I want to just be peaceful? What do I want? And then I'd either put on earbuds, or I'd just let it play next to me. And I got a huge amount of benefit from it. And I did this way before COVID. So if you believe that you are disabled for life, permanently, that your life is altered forever, find out if that's accurate. And then know this: you can improve the quality of your life. You have to find out the variety of things that do that. You have to implement them. Because if you've had a loved one die unexpectedly and someone close to you, and you get disoriented because this is new, it's tragic, it's traumatic, we don't expect in a week or 6 months or a year to just forget about it and get better. After that disorientation has occurred for a period of time, we begin to have to sort it out. Sort out how that's going to exist within our mind, emotion, and body. This is no different. You have to begin at some point when you're ready to begin to disentangle the disorientation you feel from this newness. This is a very creative time for many of us. It can be an incredibly beneficial time, huge growth, huge positive change, huge confidence, huge successes, because we're forced now to do something for ourselves, and not just one thing, probably a lot of things. So one thing you can do is to become familiar with brainwaves and find the ones that you like. If you find yourself listening to something going, "Ooh, that irritates me. Ooh, I don't like that," even though you have read that that would help you right now, don't keep listening to it. Come on. Find something that you like. And then it's soothing to you. If you want to go to sleep and you're listening to one that's activating your mind and you really like it, it doesn't matter. It's having a beneficial effect on you. Do this for a week, 20 minutes to 60 minutes a day. Can you split it up? Yes. Is it better if you listen all at once? Don't know. Up to you. And see how you feel in a week. It's a good idea to write down all your symptoms and then group them together. Find out when you're having the episodes. Perhaps listen to one of the brain waves when you're having one of the episodes. See whether it reduces the intensity or shortens it, and how you feel afterwards, and how long that feeling lasts. Be proactive. It's really, really important. And then tell your physician what you've been doing and how's it been working, because they need to know. We're the first generation of COVID long haul sufferers, or long haul recoverers, or just people with symptoms. And our doctors want to know what's working. When you research your symptoms, be very specific. Brainwaves to relax me. Brainwaves to help me sleep. Brainwaves to help me digest. Brainwaves to help me not be so angry. Be specific, and then try things. Use these forums to tell people, share links, share stories of success. If these COVID groups just become a bitch and a moan, and everybody is in despair, and they're all looking for a diagnosis that they can now have proudly on their chest, this is not going to serve anyone. These forums must be a place where we are helping ourselves and we are helping each other. And we are helping the medical profession understand what we can do for ourselves and what we need their help with. The two biggest fields right now being explored are brainwaves and breathing. I am both a Buteco and Oxygen Advantage instructor. I've been teaching breathing skills for years. They totally changed my life. Knowing how to breathe better. For instance, I'm talking to you, yet I'm breathing in my nose and not in my mouth. So nose breathing stimulates the parasympathetic, the calm part of us. Constant mouth breathing stimulates the sympathetic. I'll talk more about breathing again and again as I have in other of these videos. Today, I just want you to confront your fear that you are going to be disabled for life. I want you to acknowledge that you feel very disoriented, and it's okay. And it may take you, like me, a year or more. But I haven't been sitting idle for this year. I've been working on me. And I'm 77. So please work on you, your mind, your emotions, and your body. That's all for today.